I'm throwing away my Scotty Cameron. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually throwing it away, but I am placing it in my bag this upcoming season with the new Evnroll 5.2. We were in Carlsbad this November, and we visited the Evnroll putting studio and had a great fitting experience. We worked with Alan there and went through the whole process of getting fit for the perfect putter for us. Check out the video, what you're about to see. If you like it, please subscribe. We really appreciate the support. So Alan, tell us a little bit about what a fitting entails and the benefits that encompasses.
Sure. So the first thing that we'll take a look at is how the ball's coming off the face. We need it rolling as efficiently as possible, right? We talked about that skid. Don't want to have that skid, so getting fit for the proper loft and lie is going to be huge. From there, we want it to feel very comfortable, right? So we want to get the weighting right, figure out the right grip that's going to time up that face correctly. And then there's things like toe hang and different alignment tools, right? So going through all those things, checking all the boxes is what a fitting is all about. Cool. The first thing we'll start with the fitting process, even before we explain the technology and stuff.
Yes.
Getting an idea what kind of golfer you are.
Okay.
So how often do you play?
At least once a week.
Once a week. Okay. What type of the handicap are we carrying?
I'm like a 14, 15.
14, 15? Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. And what do you got here?
I have a Scotty Cameron Squareback 2. Cool.
Cool. How long have you been using that guy?
I've had this for like 3 years now.
About 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
Cool. Cool. Just picked it up off the rack?
Yeah, off the rack.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like putting is a strength or a weakness right now?
It's a weakness.
Bit of a weakness?
Absolutely.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, we're going to utilize this cool high-speed camera system. It's going to measure your putting stroke in real time, as well as how the ball is interacting with the putter face. Cool. Different people, different manufacturers will measure putters differently. So yeah. Just like to get an idea of what exactly it's coming in at. So we're just a skosh over 35 inches.
And that's something I never know too. It's like they say standard height for me should be like 34 and a half. Sure. But I've grabbed those putters and they just feel too short for me. I guess it's just what you're used to. But
yeah, a lot of it's what you're used to. So we'll take that into account through the process. We'll take a look at your setup and see if where your posture's out, where your eyes are falling over the target line. So that usually determines most of the length part. And the golf balls that we're going to use have little flat dots on them. That way we can measure how it's rolling, basically.
Yeah. So I don't know if you agree with this, but I feel like it's universal agreement that iron fittings are pretty important, drivers decent. I feel like putting can be overlooked. How much of an advantage do you think it is getting fit for like a putter?
We've been doing this for a while, so I think that getting the dirty details correct really can change your game. So making sure you get the right grip and the right length, the right swing weight and overall weight, and the right loft and lie, right? Can really be a game changer. So let's see. I'm gonna have you lower your hands just a little bit, right there. So this is just basically allowing the camera system to get zeroed out with this putter. Excellent. So we'll get about 5 putts on camera and take a look at some of your tendencies.
Sounds good. Figure out why I 3-putt.
The whole idea.
So how long has Evnroll been around?
Evnroll's been around for, I think it's been about 6 or 7 years now.
Okay, you guys are relatively new.
Relatively new, yep. It's the development of my boss, Mr. Darren Reich, his putter designs. He's basically the creator of groove technology on putters. So it's his latest and greatest patented technology. It's a variable depth groove design. It's got basically a V shape to it. Yeah. Where you're hitting the ball a little bit softer, where the putter is stronger, and a little bit harder where the putter is weaker. So no matter where you hit it across that groove pattern, you're getting the same ball speeds coming off the face. The other cool part is because they're kind of V-shaped, you get more of a straight pattern off the face. You don't get as much dispersion.
Yeah.
So let's see, you feel like you have a certain miss on short putts, push pull.
It's really the whole spectrum, unfortunately.
You can miss it on both sides?
I can miss it on both sides.
There we go. You can see you get a cool slow-mo replay there. So if putting is a weakness, do you feel like it's more due to speed control, or is it those short putts?
I think it's a line thing.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you do have a pretty, we'll call it slow tempo, but you're not over-accelerating, which is good. Let's take a look at some of these numbers. I'll just kind of highlight some of the more important ones.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
So this screen is going to be basically your most recent putt.
Okay.
And everything at the bottom, the 5 images there, that's going to be your putter at impact. Okay. Most important thing is going to be how we control the face angle at impact. That's going to be most of whether you hit your line or not. Okay. We'll also keep an eye on your path here. You know, that's whether we're coming out to in or in to out. And face angles, before that last one, we're just a little bit left. Okay. So we might be over rotating ever so slightly. Cutting across it just a little bit as well. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Looks like the toe might be up about a degree or degree and a half. Okay, so the first thing we'll take a look at there is going to be the length.
Okay.
So maybe we go not a full inch, but maybe a half inch short.
Short. Yeah.
Could, you know, fit you a little bit better. That way you're not too inside the target line, like we mentioned.
Yep.
The next part of this, and this is what really separates this system from others. It's going to be the top right portion there. That's going to be measuring the little black dots on the side of the ball. Okay. And that's giving us a launch angle and spin characteristics. Okay.
Yeah.
And ideally, we're going to look for a launch angle of about 1 to 2 degrees.
Okay.
And that's just enough of a lift to get the ball up and out of the little depression that it sits in. Okay. So 1.7, that's pretty good. Okay. But you've got what looks like 20 or so RPMs of backspin.
Right.
Well, that's going to create skid, right? And that's going to be hard to gauge your speed at a certain point. If we look at your previous putts, launch angles, pretty darn good, okay, in that green range, right? But if you look at the F/B RPM, backspin on every single putt.
That's interesting because you figured if I have a good launch angle, that wouldn't mean forward spin.
Well, the other number that we'll kind of take a look at, and this is more set up in stroke, but your attack angle on 3 of those putts, you're actually getting down.
Too strong.
You're actually coming down on top of it. So
you know what that is I watch the pros and they always get forward shaft length. So I'm going to do that.
In sort of the idea, this is getting into more stroke stuff, but you want that little forward shaft length, but we got to hit up on it just a little bit, right? Yeah. Putter and driver, usually the only 2 clubs that we want to be hitting down on.
That makes sense.
Yep.
So my stroke sucks is what you're saying.
I'm saying we've got some room for improvement.
That's fine.
Let me grab this guy. We'll kind of ditch this for a little bit.
Sounds great.
And we'll start with an Evnroll that looks almost exactly the same.
Can't wait.
Okay.
What would you call this? This is our
EV2.
EV2.
Okay, so we've got the same style plumber neck on your Scotty.
Okay.
Like I said, adjusted to loft and lie a little bit.
Yeah.
Stiffest out grip. What was it about?
I already kind of like how it looks at a dress better.
Good. Does it feel any heavier or lighter?
It feels heavier.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I kind of like it. I like that heavier, what do I feel like, especially kind of with my slow stroke.
Very nice. So still starting a little bit left. All right, those face angles are definitely coming through close still, but we haven't changed the style of putter. Right?
Yeah.
Right now we're just trying to influence some of our ball roll numbers.
Okay.
And launch angles, right?
Yep.
A little bit on the low side, but we're starting to get rid of some of that skid factor.
Yeah.
Right, we're reducing the side spin as well.
Yep.
The good part here, the screen shows it better, but lie angle, right? We flatten it out just a little bit.
Yeah.
We've got that thing coming through nice and flush. And a number I didn't talk about is this club twist. Okay?
Yeah.
That's basically going to be measuring how much deflection you get on a miss hit, right? So toe strike's going to open, heel strike's going to shut just a little bit.
Do you think that helps with a heavier putter?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right? And so depending where we place that weight, it can help as well. But getting the lie angle correct is going to help reduce that club twist after impact.
Yeah. It's like, okay, blade or mallet?
Sure.
And you read that overall a mallet is a bit more forgiving
Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. I think the first thing to keep in mind, depending on how serious a golfer you are, how in tune to your equipment is play your preference, right? Play what you like to look at. And then the next point is a mallet's going to be more stable, a little bit more forgiving. The weight is spread to the perimeter of the putter, which increases the MOI, right? So the way I usually tell people that come in, it really affects how smooth the takeaway is, right? It's not going to be as shaky, right? And then it can also decrease that twist and impact on the inevitable mishit. So this is the EV 5.2. It's going to give him a lot more alignment aid. And also it's going to move the weight to the back of the putter, hopefully keeping it a bit more open. Lastly, we've decreased some of the toe hang because he does like the feeling of that straight back and straight through stroke. So we'll give it a shot.
Whoa, that feels so different.
Way different. Right?
So different.
A little smoother on the way back?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that's the one. Relax. Yeah, baby.
This one has like a really thick piece of steel at the front too. And because it's so thick and the fact that it's 303 stainless steel, it gives off a really nice, consistent sound. You know, when you do mishit it, you're gonna know it. When you hit it correctly in the center, you're gonna know it as well. Nice. How does this feel right now?
I like it.
Okay, so this is probably what we're gonna end up with. We can keep trying other mallets, but because you like this shape so much, that's the confidence factor I can't control. Right. So let's lean into that. You know, I've controlled the variables I can, and we'll see how it performs on the course.
Sounds great.
Cool.
Love that.
Pull down that edge real quick. Here we go, Noah. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, kind sir. Oh my gosh. Just wrapping up here at Evnroll. Thanks to Alan and his team. We're gonna test these later out at Pelican Hill up in Newport Beach later today. We can't wait to show you. If you're debating on whether or not to get fitted, definitely make the decision to do so. Come here at Evnroll and experience this whole thing.